What's going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we are checking out Angel's Calling featuring Apocalyptica, which the name Apocalypta, my mind instantly goes to Apocalypto, the movie. I remember I watched that probably too young. I watched it when I was fairly young, at least. But that's instantly where my mind goes to. But we are checking it out today because Lord Kongamu, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your name, wanted me to check it out and said, hey, I'm going to the Navy I'm going off to boot camp, Navy boot camp in 12 days. This was like a day or two ago. It's like, I want to see you check it out before I ship out for boot camp. So here we are. If you are actually in boot camp, hell yeah. Good for you. Like, don't take this wrong. I take everything with like a grain of salt, especially on the internet. So if you are actually doing it, fuck yeah. Hats off to you. Hope you do well. Hope you have a good time there. Or not necessarily good time, but I hope you do well. Good luck to you out there. I don't know where my head was going after this. I just had it like written down in my head, like, hey, make sure to mention this. Make sure I shout him out, all that kind of jazz. So, yeah, go check out the original videos. They're linked below. I have no idea what this video is about, honestly, other than I think I may have seen Mountain something or another. Don't quote me on that. I hope you guys enjoy. Without further ado, let's jump in. Oh, this is a... Dude, I really like the... I always feel so cheesy pausing it so early in each... Almost, if not every Sabaton video. I usually end up pausing and be like, oh, I really like this intro, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. This one, I like the strings. I like the strings they included with this intro. Like, I don't know what it is. It could just be that. Like, I don't think I've really heard, or especially like, I don't know, metal, I guess is what you would call them. Or I'd call them metal, maybe rock, I guess, as well. The strings, you don't really hear that very much in those genres. And I really enjoy it. Oh yeah, look at that. Hell yeah. Got like legit rock dudes playing the strings. And if I'm not mistaken, those are cellos. And I'm sorry, fight me if you want. I believe cellos have a better sound than both violin and violas. Fight me on it all you want. I will stand by that statement. I played cello for a very small bit, not even a whole long time. So I can't even really say I really played cello. Like maybe less than a year. But cello, I think, sounds better. My sister played it. My nephew played it. I played it for a very, very short time. I think cello sounds better than violin, because all I really remember from orchestra class is just how much I disliked hearing, like, the one dude. We didn't really have many violins / violas. I only played in like elementary school, whereas my sister played through middle and high school. My nephew played a bit through high school. I don't think he does orchestra anymore because he's still in high school. But I just remember in elementary school when I originally 6th grade was elementary school where I was. Uh there was one dude, I don't even remember if we had actual violins. We had a viola. And all I remember is just how the sound of it sounded more or less like I don't know, kind of like how people freak out at the sound of like styrofoam or newspapers rubbing together like they can't it doesn't their ears don't like it. Kind of like nails on chalkboard, which nails on a chalkboard I don't care about. It's kind of sounded like that to me where it just kind of made me shiver. Weird fucking tangent to go on. I mean, I'm 6 minutes in, I'm less than a minute into this fucking song. And I realized my eyes have been closed for a lot of this because I've just been like closed and have my eyes closed imagining all the bullshit that I'm talking about. Ooh. A little intro. Fuck yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm going back already. I know, guitar, I guess, I think is what this is. The guitar, and then with the intro, the fucking drums sounds amazing. Hey, Par. I saw you, buddy.
Sent to kill, to watch no man's land. Snipers are moving on the scene. Fight for land to lose it again.
You know, a weird thing? You know something? I don't know any like rock song that's done this. I only know of one song that's done it. And it was only because I love this director. I saw behind the scenes for it. Halloween, what was it, 2018, I want to say? The first remake that's supposed to take place like right after the first movie, the first ever Halloween, John Carpenter. One of the songs that they have for like Michael's, one of the chase scenes or whatever for Michael Myers, in case you didn't know. They talked about how they played a guitar with a bow. And it sounds fucking phenomenal. It's one of my favorite like movie soundtracks. It's legit. I have that shit downloaded on my phone because I just I love it. I don't let me know. Do you guys know any like metal/rock songs or whatever that actually use that where they take a bow and use it on like an electric guitar? That'd be hella dope. It's such a nice sound. Let me back up because I honestly kind of forgot everything that the fucking lyrics say.
Sent to kill, to watch no man's land. Snipers are moving on the scene. Fight for land to lose it again. Shrapnel is filling the air. Hell on earth that clenches mean death. Better keep your head down low.
Yep.
Charge the lines, the ultimate test. It's a synchronized sacrifice.
Ooh, I like that.
Wounded of the dark, live alone in no man's land. Many chaos at the front. Dream of heaven, angels are calling your name.
I like the multiple voices yelling that at the same time. That sounds awesome. And like how I say earlier, I'm very vaguely into the song. One of his earlier lines, he stopped singing, and it sounded like the voices who backed him up on that part said something like as if they said something back to him. Sabaton, I swear Sabaton does it a lot, but I always love it whenever they do. Like, I don't know what it is. It just kind of scratches something in my brain whenever I hear them do it.
Shells and guns are rifle and scope. Bullets are wearing your name. Losing track of time and of space. Midnight at sanity's edge. Losing friends to artillery shells. At the break of dawn. Break their will as yours has been broken. They're here alone. Charge at dawn to gain a
Oh, that's actually kind of a deep line if you think about it. Break their will as they break in yours. They're here alone. Dream of home, as if you're both dreaming of home. Like you're both here alone. They're here alone, and you're both dreaming of home. I like that. That's what they were going for. That's just instantly where my mind went to.
Scarlet Knight took other lines. Eager life in fortune's hand. Dream of heaven, angels are calling your name.
Hell yeah, nice guitar solo. Dude, that shit sounds so good. Ah, hell yeah. That little squeal that they did with it sounds so nice. I always bring up liking their fucking solos that they do. But whenever they do like what I would assume is super simple shit, just they're so good at what they do because it just scratches my brain just the right way. Like that little squeal. I love it. I'm sure it's super easy to do, but I love it. Hell yeah, nice transition. You did something slower. God, I'm 13 minutes into this fucking reaction. Just raw recording. I'm only 4 minutes in. I love these kinds of songs where I'm able to go on tangents. Let me know what you guys think about whenever I go on tangents. Oh, the cello. Oh, and the drums. Dude, fuck yeah. This is what I'm talking about. I love this shit.
The trenches mean death. Keep your head down low. Charge the lines. The ultimate test. It's a synchronized sacrifice. With a bullet hits
Oh, I like that.
Now your timing has been served. You want to return to home. Dream of heaven. Angels are calling your name.
Dude, yet again with all the backup vocals. I love it. What is that like weird synth in the background? Is that the cello? That might actually be the cello, but it's such a nice sounding, like, honestly, it sounds so good. seems like such a simple song, but god damn, dude, does it just sound nice. Fuck me. All right, we're hopping straight into the fucking history section because honestly, this could be about any number of things when it comes to this. 6 years ago, probably first War album. Great War, I guess, I think. That's what the album's called. I don't know. But should be a really fucking fun time. Make sure you guys stick around for the history section. The history section, arguably, a lot of the time is better than the actual song, in my opinion. So, yeah.
I'm Indy Nidell.
And I'm Joachim from Sabaton.
And this is Sabaton History.
Angels Calling, Trench Warfare. Is this just a song just in general about trench warfare
Trench
then?
warfare on the Western Front
So I'm
in the
only
First
just now
World
seeing
War
this.
is one of the enduring symbols of that war.
Yes, it is. Give me 1 second.
And our song, Angels Calling, is about what the soldiers on both sides went through in those trenches.
There we go. That should fix it. Love how Joaquin didn't say shit. 37.
It has often been said
7
that when
years ago,
generals
damn.
prepare to fight a war, it's the last war, the one that came before. This certainly seemed to be true for the Great War, when in July and August
Yes, that is a term I have definitely heard when it comes to the Great War
1914, the powder keg of
or World War One. That is definitely a term I've heard, or World War One. I guess I should say, where the whole idea was. I mean, if you look at, or I guess technically about World War Two, why the French did what they did and why they got steamrolled pretty much is they were expecting another slugfest pretty much between them and the Germans. If anything were to go down, they weren't expecting the Germans to innovate their plans and basically just say fuck you to the trench warfare system.
European ambitions and arrogance exploded. The soldiers marched out in the old formations of lines and squares to meet their enemy in open fields. Officers with shining sabers and white gloves led cavalrymen clad in iron breastplates, feathered caps, and lavishly ornamented overcoats. Red trousers, spiked leather helmets, and glittering bayonets went out in hopes of glory and quick victory, because this was how you were supposed to fight a war. It all vanished in the terror of guns and cannons. Warfare had become industrialized, and its most evident symbols of destruction were the machine gun, whose firepower could replace that of a whole company, and the barbed wire, a simple agricultural tool to herd cattle, now dooming men to be trapped within a killing zone. Both are rather simple tools, made in factories far from the front lines, but now able to overpower everything.
Something you don't really think about, something I don't really think about, is just how different the wars between whichever the last like major war was. I may or may not have heard of it. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. Between that and World War One, how much warfare had changed or has changed, however you want to say it. Because it really had. World War One was on a different scale, different, like it was a whole nother thing
That human flesh sought to achieve. Instead of the great, glorious battles, the Waterloos of the past, armies now faced an unconquerable no man's land stretching out between them. Gallant bodies of troops charging once more, and yet once more into the breach, all met their fate, hanging upright on belts of
that's
barbed
a
wire.
fucking crazy
Bullet-ridden,
photo.
Silently decaying.
That is a crazy photo of just a dude trapped in barbed wire, helmet off. I think that's a British helmet, I think. Just laying over top of it, dead with his helmet like whether or not this is a fucking real photo, this is crazy
Being
to
there
see.
for months, Horses were as useless as men in the churned up ground of no man's land, and the invention of the protective tank was still far in the future. To escape the inevitable death from afar, men had no choice but to dig and dig deeply, out of sight and out of reach of the mighty.
Let me know if y'all want to see me play through Battlefield 1 again. So I love Battlefield 1. Honestly, one of, if not my favorite Battlefield game. Second, no, we'll go second favorite. First favorite by far is Battlefield 3. Don't know what it is. Love Battlefield 3. Battlefield 1, though, let me know if you want to see me. Like, I've played it multiple times before. Let me know if you want to see me play through it again on either this channel or my gaming channel. Probably my gaming channel. Because I would play through it again. Like, almost an uncut video, depending on whenever the fuck I get time. Playing through it because holy shit, it is such a good game. And this, anytime I see a video for Sabaton that has to deal with the First World War, all I think is, damn, this is really making me want to fucking play it. Of which, one of y'all mentioned that Indy was actually the one to write the journals that you see in I want to say Battlefield 1. I want to say it was Battlefield 1 that I was talking about and that the commenter mentioned. Either way, let me know if that's something y'all would want to see.
Mighty guns.
Sent to kill, to watch no man's land. Snipers are moving unseen. Fight for land, to loosen again. Shrapnel is still in the air.
War was not about geography anymore, not about capturing cities or economic strongpoints. No, the only way to win the deadlock was to kill as many of the enemy as possible until breakthrough could be achieved. The nature of industrialized war was that defense had the clear advantage over the offense, and entrenched
because
position
they have to come to
was
you.
simply more effective at killing the enemy. Hundreds of thousands of dead men littering the space between the
God,
trenches
another
were
crazy
proof of that.
photo.
Consequently, the war slowed down, and soldiers went deep beneath the earth, into their trenches and dugouts. There they waited for the dark. The day was just too dangerous.
God, I don't know what it is, but the colorized photos of like old black and white photos, but colorized photos of this kind of shit is just insane to me. Like, you have this photo, originally, more than likely, originally seen in black and white. See, I believe these are French soldiers with artillery going off or a bomb going off, something like that. Going off, a dead soldier here. These guys just hunkering down over a little hill. You can't really see what's beyond it. But now it's in color. Like, color adds a whole nother depth to a picture.
Just taking a quick glance over the parapets was gambling with death. Instead, soldiers confined themselves to a life within the trenches. Daylight was a game of hiding and waiting, while firing from safety with
God,
artillery,
I've been recording for
mortars,
so
grenades.
long and I haven't even
Movement
gotten
was very
far.
limited. Men actually slept more during the day than they did at night. However, once the day ended,
I mean, that kind of makes sense. Yet again, pausing it yet again. Makes sense of during the day, the opposite army more than likely isn't going to risk moving its men out because you're going very, very obviously in full view of everyone. Whereas at night, you can try to attack under the cover of darkness and more than likely, either more than likely slash I don't know, you're less likely to be seen, I guess, under the cover of night. I kind of blanked on the saying I was trying to go for.
when the dusk came, when the sun went down, the men went to work. Soldiers crept out into no man's land to dig saps, repair trenches, and lay new barbed wire. Food and water was brought forward,
another
and
thing I
medical
didn't think
orderlies
of.
could finally reach the contested front lines. The wounded in no man's land, moaning and screaming for help, could hopefully be relieved by their comrades, and those who had been trapped by the daylight in the shell holes of the killing zone had a chance to make it back to their own lines. I pressed myself to ground and pulled in my head and legs as the bullet swept over me. Just as unpleasant were the glowing lumps of magnesium by the falling flares that burned down close beside me. Since the moon had disappeared behind clouds, I soon lost track of everything. I knew neither where the English nor the German side was. At times a bullet, fired by one side or the other, was sweeping across the ground, dangerously close. I was prepared to meet any English hail with a hand grenade, but to my relief, it were my own men coming to retrieve my assumed to be dead body.
That's a shit bricks moment.
Left alone in no man's land. Mad chaos at the front. Dream of heaven. Angels are calling your name.
As the lost and wounded were brought in, others went out into the dark to fight. Snipers crawled on their bellies into no man's land, looking for a lair from which they could deal death into the enemy's hideout the next day. Combat patrols went out to get close to the enemy, to find and engage their sappers, or to simply patrol the dead zone against enemy raiders. Raiding parties with blackened faces, clubs and pistols were sent out into the night to prey on tired sentries, to steal information, or to destroy what they could destroy in a deadly game of cat and mouse, of hunter and prey. In fear of those men, sentries had to stay awake. That is easier said than done. Notoriously deprived
Every
of sleep,
time.
the men waited for
Classic story, easier said than done. Heard it time and time again, especially when coming to the military.
hours, staring into the dark, anxiously listening for footsteps, whispers, or anything that rattled against the wire. Armed with magnesium flares, they remained ready to alarm.
Oh, let me go back.
Stare and done. Notoriously deprived of sleep, the men waited for hours, staring into the dark, anxiously.
Wow, great sound design. Adding in the footsteps, because this photo is taken during the winter. See the snow on the ground. Great sound design for, like, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if really no one noticed. Great sound design, adding in the footsteps that you would hear, like as if you're looking into the dark, trying to keep an eye out, as if you're a sentry. Either hearing your own footsteps, which is either your own footsteps or the enemy footsteps, of feet crunching / compacting and squeaking on the snow. Great sound design for something people probably wouldn't notice for a fucking random little history section.
Listening for footsteps, whispers, or anything that rattled against the wire. Armed with magnesium flares, they remained ready to alarm their comrades, and any such alarm was immediately met with illuminating flares and machine gun fire, tearing the unlucky raiders apart.
Yeah, fuck
At
that. We
dusk,
ain't
we
taking
got to
no
work.
risks.
I marked out the gun pits by torchlight and the cold glare of occasional star shells, and soon all were digging. It was an eerie and unpleasant night. It rained at times. Odd shells fell, always seeming nearer in the darkness. About midnight, a hell of a row broke out in front with heavy machine gun fire. Very lights went up, and a stream of our SOS shells flew close over our heads. The men seemed more frightened than I was, being all on their own in the dark, wondering if the Boche might be coming at them over the ridge. The night was also a chance to prepare for coming offensives. The phrase "at first light" is often attributed to such offensives, but most of them started way before first light, since the dark is the attacker's most precious ally.
Yep.
Whole regiments were
Makes
changed
sense.
at night, which took hours, if not all night, since traversing the trenches was wandering a maze in the dark, because even the slightest shadow or the smallest light source would attract the attention of the enemy gunners. Artillery was still very active during the night.
Weirdly enough, or interesting, depending on which side of the fence you fall on, that is something you actually see nowadays, from what I remember, from what I know of the Russo-Ukraine war. Like, I saw the very viral video, or a couple of them at least, of one that really stands out to me is a Ukrainian clearing out a trench, getting fairly close to a fucking Russian dude, and like almost if not getting into hand-to-hand combat with him, and ending up, I know a grenade gets tossed at some point. He hides around a corner as it goes off, and yeah, and also he goes in, double taps him. Insane video if you've never seen it. Like seeing and I can understand why it'd be a maze-like structure, because it really is.
Harassing the enemy,
even if you're the one who built it.
Of sleep. Just look at our artillery. Just look at it, at those countless flashes. See how they stab at the darkness from their hiding places, not in dozens, but in hundreds. And yet, these are only the heavies. The lighter guns are well up, and we cannot see them. The whole place seems ablaze as far as the eye can see, flash after flash, some singly, some in groups. But isn't it all beyond description, beyond belief, beyond even imagination?
A little bit, yeah.
Even those men lucky enough to have a cozy spot that was not just a muddy shell hole, a hole in the wall of a trench, or a dangerously shaky dugout that threatened to swallow a man whole with the next impact. Even they could not find sleep easily. Fear and memories were maddening, and only the hope of returning home one day was what kept many of the men sane enough to carry on.
Be honest, I had my eyes closed because I was like rubbing my eyes and whatnot. I assume that his eyelids right here were his actual eyeballs. I was like, why the fuck are they all white and whatnot? But no, it's his eyes are like 80 to 90% closed.
Photographs and letters from family
letters.
and loved ones. These were cherished treasures, which sometimes decorated the tiny space of the dugouts where the men got their 2, maybe 3 hours of sleep until woken again for guard duty. Others lost themselves in silent prayers or memorized holy verses. Sleep was a luxury for most of the common soldiers, and it was everything, anonymous. Who remembers the single soldier lying in a water-filled shell hole throughout the night, shivering from the freezing temperature, only to fight the coming day? It was a quick, easy death.
That sounds like fucking
I dragged
hell.
my fallen comrade to a shell hole, covered him with my ground sheet. There was a battle raging far off to the right. It was now broad daylight. I now had to hang on for another 18 hours, soaked to the skin. My boots were full of water, my coat leaked, and everything was dripping. I was shivering and freezing from cold, and I could not gather my thoughts together coherently.
God, that's just an insane thing. You carry
my ground sheet. I dragged my fallen comrade to a shell hole, covered him with my ground sheet. There was a battle raging.
So a fallen comrade drags him back to the hole, covers him with his fucking sheet to like either try to keep him alive and more or less dry, or keep him, like give him some semblance of, and I don't know, decorum, I guess. And that's just what you
see.
See.
Coat leaked and my thoughts together coherently. The day dragged by.
And then figuring out that, hey, I hear a battle off that way. That means I'm stuck here another 18 hours. And either whether or not the dude's alive, if the dude's alive, dude's probably not going to survive. And if he's not, then I'm stuck here with a dead body for the next 18 hours.
Evening drew near, and with it, relief. We now had to carry our fallen comrade back to the rear with us. There could be no question of sleep that night. At long last, dawn approached, and we dragged our weary, frozen limbs into our accommodation. I lay down on a hard bed and fell asleep. I slept, and then I dreamt not of the war, but of love at home and the love of a young woman.
Hell yeah, brother.
But even if they got used to the harsh conditions, to the shelling, maybe even to the rats or to the omnipresent plague of lice, there was still one enemy from which they could not take shelter: gas. In the front trenches,
Oh
it was
God, that's right,
mandatory to keep
gas.
a gas mask at the ready, because once under fire, there were but seconds that lay between life and an agonizing death. And at night, in total darkness, it was easy to panic and lose everything. And panic was always close by, because they knew.
Oh, fuck. Having to... A gas attack in general. Horrible. Horrible to think about having to deal with. Gas attack at night where you can't really fucking see anything is horrendous.
That unseen snipers were moving around, searching for a spot from which they could kill them the next day. They knew that men with clubs and knives were wandering around in the dark, waiting for the chance to spill blood. They knew that comrades, maybe dear friends, were lying out there, outside their reach, too weak to cry for help, slowly bleeding out. And they knew that a new day would eventually come. And with the sunlight, that new day of fighting, killing, and dying was upon them. They would find their enemies, and their enemies would find them, with bullets bearing their names.
That's some depressing shit.
Okay, well, trench warfare, why did that appeal to you enough to write a song about?
I mean,
not
it's
too much
pretty
appealing.
fucking-
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Poor choice of
appealing,
words,
but...
but yes, I agree. It's a bit of a weird story, this one, because it's not really about a single battle.
I know,
Right.
iconic,
It's
I guess.
more about, as you said, soldiers on both sides being in the trenches.
The horror of the
Yeah.
trenches. Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because it's kind of one of my favorite songs. So I have positive, so many positive memories about it. And I want to bring it back on tour again. So you guys hammer the channel so Pat and everybody in the band sees how much you love Angels Calling. So I get
Honestly, Angels Calling sounds like it'd go fucking hard at a live concert. This kind of song seems like it'd go hard at a live concert and would do, and I also feel like it'd do really well.
to play it live again.
Now, how did it feel for you when we were filming at Verdun a couple months ago? How was it for you to actually see the trenches and be down in where the trenches were? You can still see them in the
I
countryside.
feel like I've seen that video.
It's so eerie.
I don't know, I've done so
a
many
weird
Sabaton
feeling,
now.
because at the same time I'm happy to be there to see it, but it's not a happy place at all. There's something about the World War I battlefields that gets me. I don't know what it is. I can't really explain it. Sorry, but it's fucked up. Sorry for the language.
No, and
No, you don't need to really. No, that's a great way to say it. It's I'm happy to see it, despite it not being a happy place. And it's, yeah, World War I, for whatever reason, gets me up really hard, especially seeing the actual battlefields. And yeah, like you said, it's fucked up. Yeah.
but it is really somber. I mean, just,
Valid.
seeing the craziness of the way the ground is just blasted apart. Now, that's interesting to write a song not about a person or about a battle, as most of your songs are about things like that, or a war, but about almost a symbol of a war, a thing that somebody had to go through.
Yeah.
And it's not just the British or the Americans or the French or the Germans. It's everybody.
It's everyone
on the
having to
Western
deal
Front.
with
Also
that.
on the Italian front, there were plenty of trenches and stuff too. But that's what we think when we think of trenches. We think of the Western Front. We think of mustard gas.
Yep.
We think of trench foot. We think of, I mean,
Disease, artillery, hell on earth. People drowning.
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
God,
you
drowning,
walking across
another
the
thing
duckboards,
I
carrying
remember-
25 kilos.
God, drowning. I remember mentioning drowning / suffocating in the mud in. What was it? Landers Fields or whatever. Whichever video that was. That just kind of has proceeded to stick with me.
Of wait, you slip, you fall into the mud, you are dead before anyone can get you back. And a letter goes to your family that says you fell. It doesn't say you drowned, but it says you fell, which means you died
fell in
either
battle.
in battle or whatever. And that's I mean, if I was that guy in my last 10 seconds in the mud, I'd be thinking, this is so unfair. What am I dying for?
This is not how I wanted to go.
This isn't how I wanna
Why
go
am I
out.
here? What am I dying for?
You're dying for a mile.
Okay, sports fans, that's it for today, but we'll see you next time on Sabaton History.
Oh, that seemed... I'd say it seems really short, but a 40-minute video, probably closer to like, I don't know, maybe 38. I largely do these uncut, except for cutting out like in between shit. I don't know. The actual song history part seemed really short. All fine with that. Great video. Great song, by the way. And yet again, good luck to local Tongamu, or however you say your name. Good luck to you in the in boot camp, if you are going. Preface it like that. Great song choice, really catchy, really enjoyed it, even if it is like more of a generic song, like a generic trench warfare song. Really enjoy it. Really good. Any suggestions you have, I'll more than likely check out. If I haven't checked it out yet, I'll more than likely check out the top comment, whichever one has like the most likes. Usually is how I do it, unless one really sticks out to me, like this one did. But yeah, I do Sabaton history. I do Sabaton reactions Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then Tuesdays, Thursdays, I usually do other reactions, usually having to do with more history on whatever the hell we watched within the last couple videos. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. Go check out the original videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out any of my other reactions. If you're watching me for this, means you're probably into history. Means that I more than likely have a video that you would enjoy. So go check those out. And yeah, until next time, you guys take care of yourselves. See ya.